Yeah, dude. Apparently I lost my mind, Russell. I don't know what the heck was going on, man. I completely lost my mind. Yeah, it was October of 2018. And so I was the general manager at the dealership making incredible money. We were second largest used car franchise dealership in the country. Wow. I had an amazing mentor. The owner of the dealership had become my best friend. He had taught me so much over the years. And then after being with them for 8 years, I took my first vacation. I took 9 days off of work. It was straight. And we had an event called Hustle and Grind Con, which was an automotive event. And so I spoke at that event, and Eric Thomas was at that event. And Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip hop preacher, he said something on the stage that really hit me. He said, you think you're doing something because you're putting food on the table, because you're feeding your family, because you're providing for your wife and your kids. You think you're doing something? That's what you're supposed to do. That ain't doing nothing. You're doing something when you can put food on 100 people's tables and affect 100 people's wives and kids. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay. All right. I see you, E.T.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I see you, E.T. Maybe there is more I could be doing. So then I came home and I spent 3 days with my wife and kids, just off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then that following weekend, I went to a men's Christian leadership conference at my church. And at that conference, the pastor was talking about Jesus is not the flannel graph Jesus that we taught you learned in Sunday school. Jesus was a warrior who went out into the field and fought for people's souls. He didn't just sit at the house and say, come to me. He went out. So this was my experience over 9 days. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm being challenged spiritually, right? And so I went back to work that Monday, fired up and ready to just crush it in the dealership. And I did the morning meeting. And right after the morning meeting, the other owner, not my best friend, not my mentor, the other owner pulls me into his office. It was like 9:30 a.m. Monday. And he says, Glenn, I don't like you.
What?
Now, this is after I'd been with him for 8 years. We'd grown 800%. Now,
Glenn,
I know
I don't like you.
Yeah, he said, I don't like you. Now, here's what he meant. What he meant is, I don't like you going to conferences. I don't like you speaking on stages. I don't like you having a morning show. And I definitely don't like going to church on Sunday and everybody saying that Glenn saved our dealership when my name's on the building. That's what he meant to say. But what he said was, I don't like you. And everything he said after that sounded just like this. Like Charlie Brown. I have no idea what he said, because I all of a sudden went into this space. And again, I say heard, just like I heard on the beach. It's not audible heard, but I heard. Here's what I heard. Glenn, you can stay right here for the next 10 years and everything will be amazing. You'll have the white picket fence. Your wife and kids will be taken care of. You'll make great money. It'll be awesome. Or quit right now and let's see how far we can go.
Wow.
And so when he got done talking, I don't know what he said. When he got done talking, I said, and it was crazy because I was completely at peace. I said, sir, thank you so much for the last 8 years. It's been absolutely incredible. I believe this season is over. And his jaw hit the ground, like he freaked out. What? Yeah. You're quitting? Like he wasn't expecting that at all. No. And neither was I. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with these people. Like they had given me when I started at that dealership, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. And now my life was amazing. I thought I'd be there forever. So he kind of did his thing, and ultimately he was like, so that's it? Like, you don't have anything else to say? I'm like, bro, I'm so grateful. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I love you guys. But it's time. And so I left. I went home. My wife hadn't expected to, she didn't expect to see me for like 4 more months because I had just taken 10 days off of work. Right. And,
right.
And I pull into the garage. Now, keep in mind, my wife is pregnant with our 7th child. She's 9.5 months pregnant, like ready to pop any second. And I walk in. She's in the garage grabbing an L8. She's, big old belly sticking out and like waddling around. And she's like, "What are you doing here?"
Uh-oh.
And I said, "Honey, I quit my job." And Charity, I swear, I've never seen my wife smile so big. She smiled ear
Good for
to
her.
ear. She smiled ear to ear. And what I hadn't realized is I had been putting so much pressure on my wife, working 70-hour work weeks while she's raising these babies. She's homeschooling the kids. And she never complained. She never told me to get home early. She never once. She was so grateful for our life that she never complained. But when I told her I quit, that's when the walls kind of came down and she was relieved. Wow. And I had no idea what we were going to do or where we were going. But since
did you anticipate something different in that moment, or you told her that was it?
Yeah, that was it. Like, I just didn't know. As a matter of fact, I quit. And then the other owner called me and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I quit." He's like, "Dude, take the day. Like, we'll talk about this tomorrow." I went to the church. I prayed for a few hours. I felt good about the decision. I stuck with the decision. And that was on Monday. And on Tuesday, I told my wife, and this is when people really thought I was crazy. On Tuesday, I said, "Hey, honey, NADA is happening out in Vegas right now. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I probably need to be in the environment with car people. Like, I just need to get in the room to see what God's plan is, because I have no idea what the plan is." And so here it is. My wife's 9.5 months pregnant. I quit my job and I run off to Vegas.
Makes sense, right? Seems pretty natural for a car guy, right?
We've been stair-stepping it from there. And now we have, we've built a multi-million-dollar company and we've got 12 employees. We're serving 190 dealerships across the country and up in Canada. And I'm the greatest speaker in the world, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew, but last Wednesday I won this thing and I'm the greatest speaker in the world.
Say it again, Glenn. Say it again. Number 1 speaker in the world, Glenn Lundy.
That's right. Yeah. Crazy, right?